In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on December 21st, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. SMU versus Penn State. The college football playoff is finally upon us, and the opening game on Saturday features a thrilling matchup between the number 11 SMU Mustangs and the number 6 Penn State Nittany Lions. This is a historic encounter, as these two programs have not faced off since 1978. SMU's season ended on a disappointing note when they lost to Clemson in the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship with a close score of 34-31, failing to cover the spread as 2.5-point favorites. Similarly, Penn State experienced a setback in the Big Ten Championship, losing to Oregon 45-37 and falling short as 3.5-point underdogs. Both teams enter the game with something to prove, and the stakes couldn't be higher. In the offseason and early in the season, I extensively discussed Penn State's mindset as a program and the promising future that James Franklin has set up for the team in this new era of college football. Few teams have benefited more from the introduction of the 12-team college football playoff than Penn State, which has consistently ranked inside the top 10 for the past 8 seasons, but had never managed to secure a spot in the 14 playoff until now. With the expanded playoff format, the Nittany Lions have a chance to compete for a national title this year. Not only does Penn State get the opportunity to make a deep playoff run, but they will also kick off their title chase at home in front of over 100,000 screaming fans in a whiteout atmosphere that is unmatched in college football. This game presents a massive opportunity for Franklin and his program to showcase their abilities on a national stage, and I strongly believe that the Nittany Lions will seize this moment with both hands, taking full advantage of the excitement and energy surrounding them. Just a few weeks ago, we saw SMU almost pull off an incredible comeback to steal the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship from Clemson. While I personally believe the Mustangs were likely the better team on that day, that result doesn't help them now as they prepare to face a well-rested and motivated Penn State squad on the road in a hostile environment. The challenge for SMU is that, unlike the chaotic and unpredictable nature of the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship, this upcoming game is expected to be much more controlled and methodical, which tends to work against underdogs who need chaos to secure an upset. One of Penn State's greatest strengths is their ability to execute on offense, staying on track and maintaining consistency. Their offensive coordinator, Andy Kolbnicki, has led an offense that ranks 2nd nationally in success rate, 5th in early downs EPA, and 6th in third down conversion percentage. Although SMU's defense has emerged as one of their strongest units this season, it's hard to envision them being able to shut down Drew Aller and the potent Nittany Lions offense, which has been firing on all cylinders. On the flip side, while Kevin Jennings and the SMU offense have been impressive in Atlantic Coast Conference play, particularly after a slow start, this is undoubtedly the toughest defense they've faced all season. The Penn State pass rush, led by the talented Abdul Carter, is expected to pose significant problems for the SMU offensive line, especially considering the Mustangs' struggles with pass protection throughout the year. These two teams have only met twice in their history, with the most recent encounter dating all the way back to 1978. With the game being played at Penn State's home stadium, the Nittany Lions will enjoy a considerable advantage, especially given their ability to be a more balanced team compared to the Mustangs. There were no common opponents between the two teams this season, but Penn State faced a much more challenging schedule, competing in the Big Ten, which had 4 teams qualify for the college football playoff, compared to just 2 teams from the Atlantic Coast Conference. Penn State is known for its commitment to running the football, with a strong and physical backfield led by 2 capable running backs. However, if the running game is stifled, quarterback Drew Aller is more than capable of taking charge and showcasing his skill set. Having faced top-tier defenses and competition throughout the season, Aller is well equipped to handle the pressure of the big moment. His return to the team has also created a sense of excitement, and the crowd will undoubtedly be energized when his name is announced. Meanwhile, Penn State's defense has been formidable all year, and despite a loss to Oregon in the Big Ten Championship, where they allowed 45 points. They will be highly motivated to put that performance behind them and focus on delivering a dominant showing against SMU. This game is expected to remain close for at least the first half, as SMU has shown the ability to compete at a high level. However, as the game progresses, it's easy to see things beginning to unravel for the Mustangs on both sides of the ball. Over the years, Franklin's teams have been highly successful in situations like this, where they are favored by more than 7 points at home, and I fully anticipate that we will see a similar result here. With that in mind, the Penn State Nittany Lions to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While both teams are known for their strong defenses, the offensive units on both sides are even more impressive. Combined, these two teams have averaged a staggering 72 points per game this season. Both squads feature a wealth of playmaking talent, including powerful quarterbacks, explosive running backs, and reliable receivers. Each team has averaged over 440 yards of offense per game, and both have shown the ability to score in bunches. Penn State has scored 35 or more points in 4 of their last 5 games and has scored at least 33 points in 8 games this season. Similarly, SMU has scored 31 or more points in each of their last 5 games and in 10 games this year. The over has hit in 14 of the games played by these two teams this season, indicating the potential for high-scoring affairs. Both teams are led by talented quarterbacks who are more than capable of putting points on the board quickly. SMU ranks 6th nationally in scoring and is able to move the ball efficiently through a variety of methods. Running back Smith is a powerful force in the backfield, while quarterback Jennings is capable of scrambling and picking up first downs with his legs. With their potent offense, SMU has scored 33 or more points in each of their last 5 games. On the other hand, Penn State has received outstanding play from their 2 running backs, Singleton and Allen, both of whom have surpassed 800 yards this season. Tight end Tyler Warren is another weapon for the Nittany Lions, as he is a matchup nightmare with his size and speed, capable of outrunning linebackers. Penn State has been able to put up impressive point totals, including 37 against Oregon and 44 against Maryland in recent weeks. The Nittany Lions have gone over the total in each of their last 4 games, with both offensive coordinators likely to take more risks than usual in their pursuit of a playoff berth. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Clemson versus Texas. The Clemson Tigers and Texas Longhorns are set to face off this Saturday at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. This game marks a historic moment, as it will be the first ever meeting between these two football programs. Clemson, with a record of 10-3 straight up, 6-6 against the spread, and 4-8 over/under, comes into this matchup fresh off a thrilling 34-31 victory over SMU in the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship on December 7th. Meanwhile, Texas, with an 11-2 straight up record, 7-6 against the spread, and a 4-8-1 over/under record, suffered a heartbreaking 22-19 overtime loss to Georgia in the Southeastern Conference title game on the same day. As both teams step onto the field for the first time in their history, the stakes are high, and fans can expect an intense battle. Clemson enters this game with a sense of accomplishment after winning the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship, a title many had written them off from securing at the start of the season. Their strong defense has been a key factor in their success, but for the Tigers to succeed in this matchup, their offense will need to deliver one of its best performances of the year. Texas, on the other hand, has suffered 2 losses to Georgia this season, and their performance in the second half of the Southeastern Conference Championship game raised concerns. Despite holding a lead over Georgia's backup quarterback, Texas couldn't hold on to secure the win. This loss has raised doubts about the team's ability to close out games. Additionally, there have been rumors circulating about quarterback Quinn Ewers potentially transferring after this season, a move that could open the door for the team's most capable quarterback, currently sitting on the bench. Clemson's offense has been impressive this season, averaging 35.5 points per game, while Texas's offense has struggled in recent weeks, leaving them vulnerable to a tough defensive battle. Given this, I expect Clemson to keep the game close with their defensive strength, and I believe they have a solid chance of pulling off an outright win. As underdogs, the Clemson Tigers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. However, I am not entirely confident in Clemson's ability to score consistently throughout this matchup unless they benefit from some fortunate turnovers, similar to what they experienced in the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship. Likewise, I expect Texas to face its own offensive struggles at times, particularly due to Quinn Ewers' inconsistencies under center. Texas's offensive line has been praised for its strength, often regarded as one of the best in the country, but the unit has allowed 28 sacks this season, ranking 87th in that category. Furthermore, since Week 9, they rank 114th in terms of front seven havoc allowed outside of garbage time. Clemson's defensive front seven, however, is a formidable force, recording 33 sacks this season, which ranks 25th in the nation. Ewers has shown considerable difficulty under pressure, with just 2 big-time throws and 6 turnover-worthy plays in 106 dropbacks against pressure. This has been a particular issue when facing top-tier defenses. In 2 games against Georgia, Ewers had 9 total turnover-worthy plays and was sacked 11 times. Additionally, he committed 5 turnover-worthy plays in games against Oklahoma and Texas Agricultural and Mechanical, 2 defenses that play at a level similar to Clemson's. Those teams are ranked in the top 20 nationally in terms of plays per game against Football Bowl subdivision opponents, yet both teams play at a relatively slower tempo. Clemson ranks 45th in seconds per play, while Texas is slightly faster, ranking 38th. Both offenses also struggle in scoring situations, averaging fewer than 4 points per opportunity, which places them both 85th or worse nationally. With this in mind, Clemson will likely aim to control the pace of the game through methodical drives, hoping to wear down Texas's dominant defense. The Tigers rank 30th in the country in time of possession, averaging over 31 minutes per game. This strategy has worked for Clemson in recent games, with the under hitting in 7 of their last 9 matchups. If the home team struggles offensively, Clemson's strategy could prove effective, and it would also work in favor of the under in terms of total points. Texas, for its part, will attempt to control the clock with its powerful ground game, exploiting Clemson's vulnerable run defense. Despite this, I don't anticipate the scoring to get out of hand, as Quinn Ewers has been prone to turnovers when pressured. Clemson's defense ranks 15th in tackles for loss and 26th in sacks this season, which will make life difficult for the Texas offense. The Longhorns will likely try to create a separation early in the game, relying on their run game to manage the clock, particularly in the 4th quarter. This will help them maintain possession and keep the ball out of Clemson's hands. Given the high stakes of this matchup, I expect both teams to take a methodical approach to the game, at least in the early stages. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tennessee versus Ohio State. The Tennessee Volunteers will face off against the Ohio State Buckeyes in the opening round of the college football playoff on Saturday evening in Columbus. Tennessee finished the regular season with a strong 10-2 record, including a 6-2 mark in Southeastern Conference play. Meanwhile, Ohio State also finished at 10-2 with a 7-2 record in Big Ten competition. These 2 teams have not met in recent years, and this will be a highly anticipated matchup, marking the first encounter between them in the college football playoff. The winner of this game will move on to play Oregon in the semifinals. The big question is whether Ohio State can cover the spread at home and advance to the next round of the tournament. This Saturday will see the Tennessee Volunteers take on the Ohio State Buckeyes for the first time since 1996, and only the second time ever. The matchup is set to take place in the final game of the first round of the college football playoff. Tennessee enters this game on a strong note, having won 6 of their last 7 games, including impressive victories over Florida and Alabama. Their only loss during this stretch came against Georgia in Athens. Ohio State has had a somewhat similar trajectory toward the end of the season, but ended their regular campaign with a tough home loss to Michigan. This loss was particularly difficult as Ohio State's offense struggled mightily, gaining only 252 yards and scoring just 10 points. This performance marked their worst offensive outing since their defeat to Clemson in the 2016 college football playoff semifinals. In terms of strategy, the Volunteers will likely rely heavily on Southeastern Conference Offensive Player of the Year Dylan Sampson, aiming to control the clock and keep the ball out of Ohio State's hands. Sampson has been a dynamic force this season, racking up over 1,500 total yards and 22 touchdowns. He has been one of the most effective running backs in the nation, particularly when it comes to gaining yards after contact and forcing missed tackles. He should find significant success against Ohio State's defense, especially behind Tennessee's stellar offensive line, which has excelled in key areas such as limiting stuff rates, generating line yards, and achieving power success. Despite Ohio State's strong defense this season, they have shown vulnerability in short yardage situations, ranking 82nd in power success and 124th in stuff rate outside of garbage time since Week 9. This weakness gives Tennessee an advantage in crucial third and fourth down scenarios. On the defensive side of the ball, Tennessee is in a strong position to put pressure on Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. The Vols have been effective in disrupting opposing offenses, and they will aim to replicate the success Michigan had in shutting down Ohio State's run game. Ohio State will once again be without two key starters on their offensive line, including their top pass blocker, Josh Simmons, and Remington Award-winning center Seth McLaughlin. This is a major blow for the Buckeyes, especially when facing a Tennessee defensive front led by standout pass rusher James Pierce Jr. Tennessee's defense has been excellent at creating negative plays, recording 29 sacks and 93 tackles for loss this season. Their front seven has been particularly disruptive over the final 6 weeks of the regular season, and they rank in the top 15 nationally in both run defense and pass rush efficiency. Given Ohio State's struggles in recent games, particularly against Michigan, Penn State, and Nebraska, Tennessee's defense should have opportunities to force critical mistakes and disrupt Ohio State's offensive rhythm. The rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan is one of the most intense in all of college football, and the aftermath of Ohio State's recent loss to Michigan will weigh heavily on the Buckeyes as they prepare for this college football playoff game. The defeat to their arch-rivals has sparked considerable criticism of Ohio State coach Ryan Day, with some fans even suggesting that the Buckeyes should decline their college football playoff invitation. This puts significant pressure on Day and his team, especially since they will be playing in front of their home crowd on national television. If the game starts to go sideways for Ohio State, the atmosphere could quickly turn tense, with fans expressing their dissatisfaction vocally. Tennessee's offense is led by Sampson, who was named Southeastern Conference Offensive Player of the Year after surpassing 1,000 rushing yards on the season. Alongside Sampson, redshirt freshman quarterback Nico Iamaleava has had time to develop and will look to capitalize on any defensive lapses. The Volunteers have several big play options in the passing game, including Brew McCoy, Don Thornton, and Squirrel White, all of whom are trending toward full availability for this game. Iamaleava, with these weapons at his disposal, has the ability to attack Ohio State's defense down the field. On the other side, Ohio State's offense has shown some vulnerabilities, especially in recent weeks. The Buckeyes have failed to score a touchdown in the first quarter of their past 3 games, and quarterback Will Howard has struggled under pressure, particularly with an offensive line that has been riddled with injuries. Tennessee's defensive coordinator, Tim Banks, will likely dial up various blitzes and pressures to disrupt Howard's timing and make life difficult for him. While Tennessee has had its own injury challenges, the extra time off has given key players on both offense and defense a chance to recover. If players like White, Thornton, and McCoy are able to contribute, Tennessee's passing game could become a significant threat. Additionally, Ohio State has struggled in big games under coach Ryan Day, and with a deflating loss to Michigan still fresh in their minds, it's hard to have full confidence in their ability to perform on the big stage. Tennessee, on the other hand, has been battle-tested throughout the season and has gained momentum as the year has progressed. Tennessee's strong running game and pass rush give them the tools to be successful in this matchup. Additionally, their special teams unit has been solid, providing them with a slight advantage in that area as well. Given the combination of these factors, I believe the Volunteers are well positioned to not only cover the spread but potentially win outright in what should be a tightly contested game. Therefore, the Tennessee Volunteers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Offensively, Tennessee has averaged 36 points per game this season, with Sampson playing a major role in driving their offensive success. Quarterback Iamaleava has developed into a reliable leader for the Volunteers, particularly after their tough losses to Arkansas and Georgia earlier in the year. Ohio State's offense still possesses plenty of talent, with explosive playmakers like receivers Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka, both capable of changing the game with a single play. However, Ohio State's defense has shown weaknesses against balanced offensive attacks, as evidenced by their struggles against Oregon and their inability to stop Michigan's rushing attack. Tennessee's up-tempo offense and commitment to feeding Sampson will put pressure on Ohio State's front seven and open up opportunities for Iamaleava to take deep shots downfield. Defensively, Tennessee has been solid against the run but has been more vulnerable in the secondary, where they rank near the bottom of the Southeastern Conference in passing yards allowed. This gives Ohio State's elite receiving core a chance to exploit potential mismatches. Tennessee's games this season have gone over in 8 of their 12 contests, largely due to their high-paced offense and occasional defensive lapses. In fact, the last 5 games for the Vols against top 10 opponents have all gone over the 46.5-point total, as Tennessee's offense has found ways to score while their defense has struggled to shut down elite teams. Tennessee will rely heavily on their ground game, which is no secret. While Ohio State has a strong rush defense, they can be vulnerable in certain situations, as shown in their defeat to Michigan when they allowed 170 rushing yards. Over the past 5 games, Ohio State has averaged 29 points per game, including solid performances against ranked teams such as Iowa and Oregon. The Buckeyes have managed to score 30 or more points in 9 of their 12 games this season. Tennessee's games have tended to hit the over, and with both teams having potent offenses and some defensive vulnerabilities, this game has all the makings of a high-scoring affair. The combination of explosive playmakers on both sides, along with aggressive coaching in a win-or-go-home scenario, makes over the projected total our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.